Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today on my channel, I'm going to do a book review for you. I just finished Sophie Kinsella's Twenties Girl. Over the last maybe year and a half, I've been going through a lot of Sophie Kinsella's books. You may know her as the author of the Confessions of a Shopaholic book series, which I haven't read, but I have read quite a few of her other books, and I almost always really like whatever she's writing. They're light and easy to read, but the storyline isn't just girl meets boy and then the rest of the book is just how they're going to eventually end up together. There's more to these books, which I really enjoy. In a lot of books that are considered chick lit, aka chick literature or girl books or the book version of a romantic comedy, the plot is often very predictable, which I find frustrating because it's just the same thing over and over again. But the great thing about Sophie Kinsella's books is that the plot is often not predictable and that the storyline keeps me going throughout the entire book because I'm not sure what's going to happen. And her books are often more about the narrator coming into herself and discovering herself rather than about the love story that surrounds the book, which I really enjoy because it gives me more than just the predictable romantic storyline. Anyway, into the book. So, Twenties Girl was written by Sophie Kinsella in 2009, meaning the book is quite old and has been around for quite a while. But while I was reading, I didn't notice too many differences between today's world and what it was like 11 years ago. There were no major differences that I could tell. So the book has really aged well over the last 11 years because there was nothing obvious that made it set in 2009. So to start, I'll admit that it took me a long time to get into this book. I was probably about 50% of the way through the book before I really started enjoying it. The beginning of this book just drags on, but trust me, it's worth it when it gets to the second half of the book. The book is centered around the main character, Lara, who at the beginning of the book goes to her great aunt Sadie's funeral, where she sees her great aunt Sadie's ghost. The ghost of Sadie presents herself to Lara, and the twist is that the ghost of Sadie has come back to Lara in her 23-year-old form, so she's around the same age as Lara. So we're following the storyline of two girls in their 20s, except one is a ghost from the 1920s and one is living in the modern time, or 2009. Lara, the main character, is going through a rough time in her life. She's just recently broken up with her boyfriend, but she's still obsessed with him. She has her own business that is failing. Sadie, or the ghost of Sadie, kind of becomes like Lara's guardian angel throughout the book, but Sadie has her own problems as well. Sadie has this special necklace that when she died she didn't have with her, and she can't pass on as from being a ghost until she's gotten this necklace. So she needs Lara's help to find the necklace and then return the necklace so that she can pass along peacefully. There are twists and turns throughout this book as you watch two people in their 20s but from very different times try to get along, and the two of them develop a very believable relationship, with one of them being a ghost and one of them being in the human world. The storyline involves mystery, romance, and above all, family values. Like I said earlier, I was really surprised, and pleasantly surprised in fact, to see that the love interest storyline in the book really took a back seat to the relationship between Lara and her Aunt Sadie. So that's a brief synopsis of what the book is about. I'm not going to give away the second half because I thought it was just so interesting and it's well worth getting to that point. I started out not sure about this book. It was dragging along quite a bit. The two heroines were getting pretty annoying at the beginning of it. But as soon as I hit about the halfway point, I was completely hooked and could not put it down. I think the dragging on in the beginning needs to happen because you need to understand the full backstory of everything for the second half of the story to make sense, because a lot happens in the second half and you would be completely lost if Kinsella skipped parts of the storyline. Highly recommend you get through the first half and stick with it. So I'm going to give this book 4 stars out of 5, I think. It's a great book to pick up if you want a storyline that's light and easy but still has a lot of substance to it. I think this book turned out to be one of the better Sophie Kinsella books out there. So thank you for watching this book review, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions about the book, you can leave them in the comments down below and I'll try to answer them for you. If you have any other book suggestions that you would like me to read and review for you, I'd be happy to hear about that too in the comments. As always, you can subscribe to my channel. I have an Instagram page where I post what I'm reading, and I'll leave the link to that in my description. I'll also leave the link to my GOODREADS account, and then that way we can be friends on GOODREADS. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye!